the Queen has officially moved into Balmoral Castle in Scotland in what marks the start of her annual summer break. And upon her arrival she received a less than friendly welcome from an old friend, the Shetland pony Mascot Cruachan IV. As the 92-year-old monarch made her way into the castle, after inspecting the guard.H, the cheeky pony relieved itself in front of her, with the Queen appearing to hold her nose as she walked away. The 3-year-old pony, the regimental mascot of the Royal Regiment of Scotland, made headlines last year when he tried to nibble the Queen's posy during a visit to Stirling Castle, prompting Her Majesty to tell him to go away. However, there appeared to be no hard feelings from the royal, who said to the pony, "Here we are again." The 92-year-old monarch looked typically elegant in a sky blue ensemble as she arrived at the gates of Balmoral, Scotland, where she inspects the guard.H before entering the castle at the start of her annual holiday. Her Majesty was greeted by Officer Commanding Johnny Thompson in order to inspect the guards. Her Majesty typically arrives in Scotland August after Balmoral Castle is closed to visitors and full security checks are carried out on the grounds. The Queen is moving into the castle after spending recent weeks at Craigowan Lodge, a smaller cottage on the Aberdeenshire estate, which is also known as the Enchanted Manor. The castle is open to the public until the end of July and has been prepared for the monarch's arrival over the last week. Crowds of well-wishers gathered to welcome the Queen on Monday, where she is expected to be in residence until early October. The last time Her Majesty was spotted out and about was on Sunday, when she attended last week's service at the church. Crathie Church lies next door to Balmoral, and the Queen is a regular presence at services during her annual holiday. Charles and Camilla also have a home.During on the Balmoral Estate and will no doubt be spending time with the monarch over the coming weeks. Last year the Queen departed for Balmoral in mid-July and did not end her annual Highland summer holiday until the first week in October. Her Majesty's last public engagements were on 13th and 14th July, when she welcomed overseas visitors, most notably President Donald Trump, to Windsor Castle. The monarch greeted the U.S. President and his wife Melania in the quadrangle of the royal residence ahead. The Queen famously enjoys a more low-key existence while staying at the Scottish retreat, with her former royal protection officer Richard Griffin recently revealing that she had a conversation with unsuspecting American tourists visiting the estate while dressed in tweeds and a scarf. Balmoral, which was bought by Prince Albert for £32,000 in 1852, is said to be the Queen's favourite home. During her stay at the castle, she relaxes by going for walks on the Aberdeenshire estate, eating picnics and cooking barbecues. Princess Eugenie has previously said of Balmoral, "It's the most beautiful place on earth. I think Granny is the most happy there. I think she really loves the Highlands." How Shetland pony Cruachan IV has a rather naughty history and once tried to eat the Queen's posy. Cruachan IV is a Shetland pony and mascot of the Royal Regiment of Scotland with a very naughty history when it comes to the Queen. The 9-year-old pony famously tried to eat the Queen's posy during the monarch's visit to Stirling Castle in July 2017. And disaster also nearly struck in August 2014, when the naughty pony rolled his top lip back as the Queen approached and appeared to try to bite her. The Queen meets the previous Cruachan at Howe Barracks in Canterbury, Kent. In November 2004. Last July, the Queen was filmed telling Cruachan IV to go away when he tried to take a bite out of her posy during a visit to Stirling Castle. The Queen, who has a lifelong love of horses, swiftly pulled the blooms behind her back before saying to the pony's minder, "They always try to eat the flowers." The minder could be heard telling the pony to be gentle as Her Majesty extended her gloved hand towards him. A month later in August, the Queen was reunited with the pony, who was on much better behavior, but didn't as the Queen turned to walk away. 3 years earlier in August 2014, disaster almost struck when the naughty pony rolled his top lip back as the Queen approached him. The Shetland Mascot tradition began in 1928. The first to march with the regiment was Cruachan I, a jet black Shetland pony gelding, who joined with the title of Pony Major. Since then, the position has been held by another 3 black Shetland geldings, with Cruachan III, a pony especially adored by the Queen, retiring at the grand old age of 23 in 2012. During his tenure, he made regular visits to Balmoral and led the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders and the Royal Regiment of Scotland at events and parades, including the Edinburgh military tattoo. He's done a lot of parades in his time, and he was a real favorite of the Queen, revealed handler Captain Dougie McDougall at the time of his retirement. Her Majesty is a long-standing fan of Shetland ponies, having begun her own riding career at the age of 4 on the back of another Shetland, Peggy. She is also a fan of another Scottish breed, the Highland pony, which she breeds from a stud attached to Balmoral.